Hello, David Landry here with the Gervais Group, Keller Williams, Cape Cod, and Colonial Partners. I'm out and about on Saturday looking at some open houses. I happen to be at 33 Boot Pond Road in Plymouth. It's a brand new listing, just came on the market. It's a 4-bedroom, 1.5 bath home. It was built in 1977. It's located on just under an acre of land, and it's got just under 2,000 square feet of living space as well. So Boot Pond Road is located off of Long Pond Road. It's very close to the access to downtown Plymouth, and it's also very close to the Miles Standish Forest. So it's not in the ponds area, a little bit closer to the downtown area, but still there is the ponds in this area as well. Let me flip the camera. This is the outside. The house is set, fairly far back from the road, about 150 feet, I would say. This property has town water, and it has a private septic system for a 4-bedroom home, and that inspection is scheduled for Monday. So you can see from the outside that this property is it's a colonial garrison style. It does have natural siding on the outside, which looks to be in a little bit of weathered shape. So that might need some tending to on the outside. You'll see from the inside tour, as soon as we get inside, that this property has been well lived in. Looks like they have several kids, lots of sports equipment, basketball hoops. There's a motocross course in the backyard. So you'll notice that there's going to have to be some work done on the inside to either renovate it or update it. Some of the main rooms, the kitchen and the bathrooms, there's 1.5 baths, have been updated. So it's just some of the rest of the areas that will need some tending to. You can see a makeshift teepee out there. The kids must have been out camping. But here's sort of a view of the front lawn. It looks like there's some construction going on across the street. Not sure if that's a septic system repair, but they have a front end loader. And it looks like they've been dumping things out, so they got a dumpster here. So let me do the outside first, and then I'll take you through the inside. It is located on just under an acre of land, so you get a lot of space. You can see the dirt bike track shed, so lots of toys back here. You also have swing sets, all of which convey with the property. There's a swing over there. You have a couple of decks out here. One outside the great room as you enter, and then it wraps around to the kitchen. Looks like the back siding has either been power washed or tended to recently. So the lot does go, fairly far back. As I mentioned, it is just under an acre of land, but lots of potential back here for, a play area. It does have an unfinished basement. And you'll see that it has bulkhead access. It's not a walkout, but it does have bulkhead access. There's a wood-burning fireplace inside, and it does have a gas range in the kitchen. It's fueled by a propane tank. So I have to do some research to see if natural gas is available, but this house has propane. You have a fire pit over here. And you can see the brick chimney for the fireplace here. It does have oil-fired forced hot water heating, And it does not have central air. You'll notice that there's window air conditioners. So if you were interested in central air, there would either be a mini split solution. A ducted system, of course, would, if you're going to go that route, a little bit more expensive. And it might make sense to do forced hot air system. Although the heating system is relatively new. So you'll see that when we go in. Garrison style home. Apparently the history of that term is that the top floor is cantilevered so that apparently in the Revolutionary days there'd be holes in this extension and you could either pass up or pass down loaded rifles to somebody who is positioned upstairs or downstairs to protect the property. A little bit of trivia while we're walking in. So there is a side entrance. This was an addition at some point, so you'll notice that there is access to the crawl space from the main basement into this addition on this side. Walk into the great room. Hardwood floors.
I just want to have a bunch of 725, 750 properties popping up and saturating the map. And they're like, I don't know.
And this room is vaulted with a ceiling fan. And you have access to the decks from here. So there's one deck on this side where they have, fire pit area and seats all around. Looks like it's pressure treated lumber. It's not Trex material. And then they have, I think this door's locked. But in any event, there's access to the deck on this side. You have a closet, missing some doors. But this gives you an idea about the space here. The house, as I mentioned, is built in 1977. There is no evidence of lead paint. But this kitchen obviously has been renovated since. So, interesting. I used to have this at a former house of mine, the kids, measuring the kids' height over time. So you have a stainless steel French door refrigerator, dishwasher, stone sink, tile backsplash, and you have a gas range which is fueled by propane and microwave overhead. And then this opens up into an eating area that has a bow window on one side. And then this is the main entrance. So 1.5 baths in this property, and the half bath is located off of this area. So this has a pedestal sink, toilet, and I think the ceiling throughout the house is a sculptured paint. So the ceiling in here seems to be in good shape. And you have a window overlooking half window overlooking the deck area. And there's also a linen closet in here. And the floor appears to be a laminate. Not laminate, it's a linoleum tile. In this bathroom. Hardwood continuing into this area where you have a front to back family room. Again, hardwood flooring. There is thermopane windows throughout. Here they have sort of a sitting area with a desk and bookshelves. And over here there is a family room area. wood burning stove, I'm told does work. They use it quite a lot. And with propane to the property, there would be an opportunity to convert to gas if you decided to do that. I'll show you a view from this angle. And there is a propane tank outside.
I just
Yeah.
looked up. These are my changes.
Walking up the stairway. Looks like the carpeting on the stairs has been removed and in the hallway, so may have at one point been attempting to redo the flooring up here. But the 4 bedrooms and the full bath are all located up here. So let's start with what appears to be the primary bedroom. The flooring in here is a laminate wood flooring. So it looks like when they removed the carpeting, they may have started with the primary bedroom. Single. Well, actually, there's one closet here in the primary, and then there's another closet over there. And you get the view of the front yard. You can see the wellhead out there for the private well. So let me give you a sense of the space of this home. I'll also send you floor plans, which are included with the listing as well. So this would be the primary, and you can see that sculptured painted ceilings continue throughout, which is a pretty popular way of construction in the 70s. The sculptured ceiling was, aesthetically pleasing, but also saved you from the taping of the seams in the drywall, because you just cover it with that sculptured paint. So that's the primary bedroom. And I'll show you the full bath. This one does have tiled floor. It does have a stone countertop, single vanity with toilet. And this one has a walk-in shower. And I'll show you the ceiling in here again is that sculptured paint. Doesn't seem to have any signs of moisture. And it has a light fan, so it appears to be properly vented. So that's the primary and the full bath. And then this is one additional bedroom. The carpeting will most likely need to go, but it does have a triangular window overlooking that addition, and you get a sense for the property out this side. And let me step back into the corner so you get a sense for the size of this bedroom. That's the closet there on the left. And looks like this is a child's room with a desk set up with a widescreen TV for gaming or otherwise. Hard to get into the closet, but that's the closet. And also interesting to note out this side is that this is the backyard. But next door there appears to be some kind of a logging operation with a trailer back there. So just something, I don't know if they're just logging on this property or clearing it for some future need, but anyway, that's what's next door. Obviously somebody is a skier. Okay, that's the one other bedroom. And then the remaining 2 bedrooms are located over here. This one's probably the smallest of them. So again, I'll back up into this corner, just give you an idea. There's a closet. And there's no bedroom in here right now, it just has a desk. Assuming you could probably put, obviously a full, potentially queen bed up against that wall. Or this could just be used as an office, as they're currently using it. And then again, the last of the 4 bedrooms. This one currently has appears to be a double bed setup. Obviously Celtics fans. And I'll give you a sense for this room as well. Obviously ski fan. Lots of maps of all the ski resorts up here in northern New England. Okay, and in the hallway there is a linen closet. So that's the upstairs. Let me take you down into the basement to show you the mechanicals. Back through the living room area.
I'm literally the only one that there was going to be no issue.
And then down into the basement. Okay, this is the basement area. To the left of the stairs as you come down is sort of like a workbench. There's an extra refrigerator. And I'll give you a sense for the space down here. Lots of storage currently here. The washer dryer is located here as well. And then over on this side is the mechanicals. And I'll show you what those look like. So this is the primary foundation that our main house sits on. And then in here, through the double doors, is the mechanicals. So a newer energy efficient oil burning furnace with hot water baseboard heating. There's a 100 amp service on the wall, and this has that's the well pump, expansion tank, and it looks like there's a water filtration system that goes along with it. And then over here is an electric water heater. So the furnace, I guess, in this configuration, heats the water that's used for the forced hot water heating. And then there's also the separate water heater, most likely for domestic hot water. And then over there is the oil tank. Now, in new construction, code requires that you have a double insulated oil tank. This is the older single insulated type, which was acceptable and grandfathered, was acceptable back in the construction days of the 70s. But the code has changed since then, so if you're building new, you have to have double insulated. So let me close that. Again, here is the view of this main basement area. There is a separate door access to the oil tank for servicing. And then this is the bulkhead to the outside. So outside of the interior access to the basement, the bulkhead access is the only other access you have. And you probably recall that what I called additional room or great room to the right of the house as you face it. You do have access to, I guess you have to crouch to walk through here, so I guess it's called not crawl space, but crouch space. But you have storage available over here, but obviously you couldn't put a room here. You can't stand up in it, so. But storage capability. And I'll do a quick panning of the basement from this view. So we can conclude the tour from this viewpoint. That is 33 Boot Pond Road in Plymouth. I'll go ahead and compile this and make it available online and send links. So in the meantime, this is David Landry with the Gervais Group, Keller Williams, Cape Cod, and Colonial Partners signing off.